I would say for me personally, like, it's just one word, and it's commitment. Like, when you sign up for whatever you sign up for, whether it's fitness, online, YouTube, if you want to be great, you have to be committed to it, and you know what you're signing up for. So I know there's going to be days that I don't want to do this, but if I don't, I'm really playing myself. And the whole goal is for me to grow. So there's no point of me for taking 2 steps forward and 1 step backwards. The whole goal is to keep walking forward. So once you understand that, and once you believe in that, and have a team that believes in that, I just feel like you'll always be positive and just striving in the right direction.
Welcome to Your Visionary Podcast. This podcast is specifically for you and your vision. Get ready to grow. Let's go.
Life is in the detour, you know? So every detour we experience, that's an opportunity to learn something.
You sell yourself. Doesn't matter if you're selling ice in Alaska or if you're selling sugarcane in Haiti. They're going to buy from you.
Man, all of this knowledge is in captivity when it should be out in the world. He couldn't believe that I had 25 years, but the way I carried myself, you'd have thought I had 25 days left.
We try to be something so great, and we forget that we're just being humans. We're human beings, you know? And it's like, we're enough right here.
Thank you all for tuning in. Today we have another special episode, and this one is a recording from the first Your Visionary panel that took place last weekend on October 19th. So it was a great turnout, even though the weather wasn't ideal, and I'm grateful for everyone who came out, and I'm happy to see that every single person in the room was engaged and gained value from the conversation. And that's the most important thing to me, because the only reason I did this was to serve others and provide actual value from individuals who are moving in the right direction in life. And so just a warning, the audio is from a live event, and so it won't be the greatest, but I just wanted to share this with y'all with hopes that y'all will gain value. And so I do want to remind you to leave a review and a 5-star rating if you enjoy what you hear today. It's just a way for me to stay connected to the impact that this podcast is having. And it also just adds motivation for me to let me know to keep doing what I'm doing. So let's get into it. The first Your Visionary Leadership panel, live from Kennesaw State University. Let's go.
But yeah, I started this podcast just as an idea to first sell my books. You know, I'm a writer, so I wanted the podcast to really tell my story and spread my books. But as I was just constructing the idea, I saw a problem around campus. You know, here, a lot of students, they lack direction, they lack purpose, and they really lack these goals for themselves. Right? And I noticed for me, one thing that really changed my life was finding a mentor and also just being around successful people. And I know that a lot of people they don't have access, you know, to those type of people. So I decided to create this platform as a way to bring on successful people, all different backgrounds, to share their stories and give advice to other college students. And so we started about 10 months ago, and we have over 2,500 followers, not followers, but 2,500 subscribers, 23 episodes. And so we have some of our most popular guests from the season on the panel tonight. And we also have just some rockstar entrepreneurs. And so I'm gonna have them introduce themselves, but first I kind of want to tell you my vision for it, right? So I was kind of intentional about the guests that I picked, and it's crazy because I feel like leadership is valuable in any profession, you know, anything you're doing. And so everybody here, you know, they're doing different things, but they're going in the right direction, right? So we have Mike Russell, and we have Austin Morris. These are both entrepreneurs. They've accumulated over $1 million in their businesses, but they have 2 different businesses. Mike Russell, his business is mainly face-to-face, personal, and Austin's his is mainly online, right? And then we have 2 social influencers, Mecca and Kayla. They both influence, but Mecca, she does a lot of her training in person, so you just have the in-person relationships. And then Kayla does a lot of her stuff on YouTube, right? So y'all kind of seeing where I'm getting at here? You can either have online or you can have in person, but either way, you know, you have the opportunity to influence and impact. And then we have my guy Mason, who's a student here at Kennesaw. He's a sophomore, and he just has dreams and goals of doing, you know, great things, great stuff, but you gotta start somewhere. So that's why I have him on this panel, just so he can, you know, get that experience and talk about his story and his perspective. And so I'm gonna get into the questions, but first I want you guys to introduce yourselves and talk about, tell me your name, what you do, and whoever wants to go first. Ladies, one of the ladies, of course.
Okay, I guess I'll go first. My name is Kayla Price. I'm known as this girl Kayla on Instagram, and my YouTube is Capable. Pretty much Capable is my social platform that's centered around all things women's empowerment, faith, beauty, and lifestyle. So I talk about a plethora of things, just advice for women and what we go through on a day-to-day basis, and just talking about things that we also face as a millennial that's important to everybody here. So.
All right, y'all, so I'm Mecca Day. I'm a personal trainer in the Atlanta area, as well as an online trainer. I have online programs. I just started my business, Oh My Glutes, where I actually have product now. So I am an entrepreneur as well. And yeah, I'm super excited about that.
My name is Austin Morris. I'm a co-founder of a lifestyle brand called Retrovert. It's me and my little brother. We basically highlight creatives while empowering the youth. And I'm also an online entrepreneur doing Amazon and Shopify.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming. My name is Mason Bose. I'm a sophomore biology major at Kansas State University. I'm also involved in many clubs and organizations on campus such as Trust, LSMPA Club, and I'm also in the process of creating my own nonprofit organization called Books and Bundles.
Wow, I'm honored to be sitting up here with these bright, intelligent young people. I don't have a Twitter handle because my company told me I'm not allowed to tweet. So if I had one, it'd be at Papa Mike, I think. So I'm a new grandfather. So what an honor to be here. Biology, that's awesome. I was biology, I was pre-med until organic chemistry came around and told me I was never going to be a doctor. So I think I made a 42 in that course in Chapel Hill. Yeah, I think that was a lot of studying. So I'm honored to be here. Thank you, Christian, for inviting me. I own a technology consulting company. I love my job because every single day I get to help businesses make decisions on technology, and it changes every single day. So I've been doing this for 18 years. I semi-retired. I hired somebody to run my company. So I get the chance to go out and meet people, which is what I absolutely love to do. So thank you for allowing me to be here.
Yeah, no, awesome. Thank you all for being here. Can we give them a round of applause? And thank you all for being here as well. I know, like I said earlier, the rain, y'all still made it, which is dope. And so kind of to run the show how this is going to go, I have a list of a few questions centered around leadership and how each and every individual leads in their career, their walk of life. And then I have some specific questions to ask each individual, just because I do have a good relationship with everybody on here. And so I know kind of like their backstory, and I can really dig deep. And so that's going to be fun. And so the first question, I'm going to split it up. Instead of asking everybody the same question, kind of like split it up, like Mike and Austin answer a question, Caitlin, Mecca, Mason. Cool. And the first question is just how do you lead in your specific career, Mike and Austin?
I'll say we'll go first.
Yeah, I'll go first. So since I have a brand, it's more of a clothing brand, and I have a bunch of like younger people around me, it's just all about like, I lead by mainly action, but also like managing what they do in day to day and just pushing them to like excel in their areas. So I'm like a little brother, and he designs, but he like has like what's it called when you can't focus for a long time?
ADHD.
Yeah. So he has ADHD and he really cannot focus. So it's like locking in with him and giving him a schedule and it's showing him like his daily output of where he needs to be at. So as long as people can like see like where they're at and where they're going, I feel like they work way better than just telling them. So yeah, that's mainly how I lead my small little team.
So it's a tough question. I'm a member, I'm an alumni of Leadership Atlanta. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of that group, but it's a very prestigious leadership group here in Atlanta. It's a lot of the large influencers here in town. And that question was asked, is what does leadership mean to you? And we had 82 different answers from 82 different people. So how you lead is really about yourself. And to me, leadership is influence. And I want to influence my team members in my company to do their best and to grow professionally and personally. So what does that mean? That means I want you to make mistakes. I want you to try things. I'm going to challenge you. I've got 5 KSU grads. Some of them were recent grads. I'm like, I've never done this before. Okay, go do it. It's like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. It's okay. Try it. And then I'll come back with my little red pen and I'll show you what I think it should be. But between the two of us, we'll come up with a good work product. So I think that leadership is really challenging the people around you and the people that you work with and your clients and the people that buy from you to do their best and to make mistakes. So I think leadership is influence.
Yeah, that's good. Both great answers. And one thing I forgot to say at the beginning, towards the end of this, we're going to have a Q&A where you guys can ask questions to anyone on here. So while they're talking and telling their perspective, if y'all have any questions, write them down, and then I'll ask y'all at the end to ask questions. So Mason, I actually wanted to get your input on this as well. Like being a student, you're not really having a business yet. How do you lead?
Really, I just lead by being an individual, like having my own hobbies and like interests that I do, such as like trying to do things such as yoga, meditation, starting back writing again. Just like not really being influenced by the people around me, like the social media stuff like that. It's kind of like it's still like going through the motions, but still maintaining my individuality and stuff like that. So I guess for leading, you have to be just being genuine, just being like a genuine person, being compassionate, being showing passion, showing the same energy that people come with me with, like showing in return.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. And the next question for Kayla and Mecca, I know both of you guys, you influence a lot online, and online it's a whole bunch of trolling, a whole bunch of negativity. And so I know that's something both of y'all deal with, right? And so how do y'all handle leading negative people or leading when negative things are going on?
Okay, yeah, so being a personal trainer, I get a lot of negative people, especially initially come in because, they're not happy about how they look, or they're not happy about, how their life is going, and things like that. So I just really try to drill them with positive things, because they obviously don't hear a lot of that. And as far as the trolls on Instagram and stuff, same, I just try to drill them with positivity, get that into their soul.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like, being that I'm a YouTuber, being that I'm on Instagram, that's the internet that gives anybody an opportunity to say really anything about you, because anything you post is now public. So I just feel like the way that you really defeat negativity, you just have to keep reinforcing positivity, like you said. I don't really engage in negative comments, and I think because of that, it minimalizes the negative comments under my content. And I just feel like positive energy is contagious. Like when you have a smile on your face, when you walk around, your energy is good, people around you kind of like absorb that energy and it's transferable. So I just feel like the more positive that you are, those negative people will soon they'll soon see what you're saying and they'll soon, be influenced by you. So that's how I feel.
That's a great answer. And Mike and Austin, I know y'all deal with this as well, leading negative people.
Leading negative people?
Yeah, leading negative people. Say someone on your team, if they just have negative vibes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you fire them. You try to coach them. You said it. You have to be positive. And the more positive you are, the less negativity you have. But there are negative people out there. Let's get real. There are. Do you want to be around them? No. So you definitely don't want to throw fuel on the fire, especially on the internet. So you're doing exactly the right thing. So you just kind of lead by trying to give them examples of, instead of saying this, why don't you say it this way? Instead of thinking it this way, why don't you think that way? There's a sign above my door. Christian sees it when he comes to see me, but it says, were you successful today? When you leave the office, you need to look up at that. And if you're saying no more than you're saying yes, probably time to look for something else. I think that helps keep the negativity down.
Yeah, that's good. I kind of want to stay on this topic a little bit because I know that at all times we're not always positive, right? We're just naturally not always positive. There's times where we wake up, we don't feel like doing anything, we don't feel like leading our team, we don't feel like going to school or running a business, but you still got to do what you have to do, right? And so the next question is just, how do you lead when you don't feel like leading?
I know there's going to be days that I don't want to do this, but if I don't, I'm really playing myself. And the whole goal is for me to grow. So there's no point of me for taking 2 steps forward and 1 step backwards. The whole goal is to keep walking forward. So once you understand that and once you believe in that, you have a team that believes in that, I just feel like you'll always be positive and just striving in the right direction.
So what keeps me going is, like the people that look up to me and the people that, are rooting for me. Every day, Monday through Thursday, I get up, I'm at the gym 4:45 a.m. every morning. So, I obviously don't always feel like leading and, being there. But I know that people are, they're looking for me to do those things. And I also just like on social media, I do a lot of like online training as well. So it's a lot of, recording workout videos, working out, and I know that people are looking for those things from me. So that's what keeps me going. Like the DMs I get with just support, like I really needed this today. Thank you so much. Like that's what keeps me going is the people.
Go next. Let's go around the table. So we just had a company retreat, and at the company retreat, the very first day, I said, "Tell me the top 3 things you do within the company." I was pretty surprised at the answers. I didn't know you did that. And to me, I'm thinking in my mind, that's not a top priority for me, but it is for you. And then it got to me. I let everybody answer, and then it got to me, and I threw up on the screen pictures of their cars sitting in the parking lot. And then I Googled their houses, and I put pictures of their houses up on the screen. And they were like, "What are you doing?" I said, "My responsibility is to pay for those things and your kids. That's my responsibility. So when I'm down, I can't be down. I now have 6 kids in my company that I've got to support and make sure I make payroll." So that's what keeps me going. And when you get tired, you just got to get going. But you said it right. The best thing about when you're down is reading comments from positive people saying, and I see it every day. I go to trade shows. It's like, "That Claire, she's the best person I've ever met. You've done a great job with her." Or that guy Jim, he is phenomenal. That makes me feel good. That's what keeps me going, is the positive comments.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
People are depending on you.
They are.
In my field of influence is a good way to kind of like defeat those rainy days. You kind of have to showcase that as well. Like I feel like in order for your brand to be relatable and to be authentic, you gotta let people see the real true side of you as well. Like I don't show everything of when I'm having the best days, when I'm vlogging, having a good time. I have real videos on here that's saying like it's okay to get yourself together, okay? It's okay to take a break, okay? It's okay to cry. Like I have stuff on there to let people know like it's okay to channel those emotions too, because I'm human, I'm real, I'm going through the same thing. So I feel like that's something else that motivates me, because like I said, they leave positive comments, they leave affirmations just to let me know like, dang, this really made me feel good because I feel like I can relate to you. So that's a good way.
For me personally, I do get tired like a lot when I go through like classes and like extracurriculars and stuff like that. I do get really tired. I do start like want to kind of give up. But what really keeps me going is just like knowing why I started. Like what's my vision, what's my like end goal where I see myself in 5-10 years. And like when people tell me like they're proud of me, like sometimes I feel like no one's even like I feel like people are against me. I feel like there's really no one that is like in my corner. But my dad or my brother or my friends tell me they're proud of me, like that actually kind of just keeps me motivated, keeps me going. And also I feel as though what really keeps me going is just knowing that like at the end of the day it's kind of like you can't be happy all the time, you can't be positive all the time, you can't be motivated all the time. You have to really kind of embrace being sad, being unmotivated, being down. And once you embrace that, you realize that like, okay, I'm not okay right now, but it's okay. Like I know that at the end of the day, I'm not gonna do this forever. I'm not gonna be down forever. I'm not gonna be up forever. So it's almost like you kind of just gotta like, I can't really explain it. It's kind of you kind of just have to just keep going, really.
Yeah. I'm saying like a similar trend. Talking about people and talking about affirmations, like reminders. Reading comments from people, it was like reminding you why you're doing what you're doing. Seeing the cars, in your company parking lot, reminding you. It's like those constant reminders are what keep us going and provide that energy. It's something that I've noticed from all of your answers. And I know that with that, this comes growth as a leader. Because the more you lead, the more you grow. That's what I believe. And so I'm interested to know like how have you guys grown as a leader in the past year? Whoever wants to go first.
Well, I feel like I've grown a lot as far as my consistency goes. I've grown a lot with, just being able to give feedback to people that are looking for it from me, just because of the experience that I've gotten by doing it so much. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel like consistency is key. Like, I've definitely gotten better with being consistent because we know we all in school. Like, we get stressed out sometimes, and sometimes you don't have enough time to put in for your brand the way you would want to. But I just feel like, the way that I try to continue to grow is remembering how important it is to me and knowing, like, you have to be consistent. I feel like the amount of people who come up to me, I've grown my brand. To know that this is something that I've literally watched grow, I feel like that's just what keeps me motivated, and that's what allows me to continue to grow. It allows my audience to grow. Another thing, I've gotten better about networking. That was something I never really did initially. I didn't really like to go listen to podcasts. It's not that I didn't like to, it's just that I'm kind of like a do-it, go-getter on her own, so I kind of like forget. You can seek advice from other people. You can ask other mentors about things. So I feel like I've definitely grown and trying to find other outlets to give me sources of information as well.
For me, I feel like the biggest part of growth is just like another word for awareness. So it's just like when you're more aware of what you need to accomplish, what you need to do, you can then like put more attention into those details or whatever you need to, get accomplished. So for me, it was just like being more aware of like people, how people interact, how I interact with people, and how can I like fix that and make it better. And then like the more attention you put into that, you just get like locked in within the details of things, whether it's design or just managing someone who's doing customer service. It's really all about the details. So it's like when you figure out that like just putting an exclamation mark and a smiley emoji after the email makes someone feel so much better. That's a whole nother like return on, that's a whole nother order, just because I put an emoji. So it's just adding those small little details, and I feel like that's what separates like the small businesses from bigger businesses.
So how many of you think Chick-fil-A has the best chicken sandwich in the world?
Not
Popeyes? Yeah, I saw that. Do you think Chick-fil-A would have grown to where they are today if they just sold that one chicken sandwich? No. They have to add kale. Take away my slaw. But they change. And you will not grow as a leader, nor will your company grow unless you change with market demands. And technology. I mean, we can't live without our cell phones now, right? So we've got to be able to change with technology and continue and learn about that change on a daily basis. Especially with y'all being online, you've got to change. When you start seeing some different stuff come in, you've got to change your market. Especially when you're selling online, you and I have talked about this, right? You've got to change to meet the demands of the market. So I think leadership, the way you're going to grow is to change. And it feels good to do the same thing over and over and over and over again, but you'll stay the same if you don't change.
I guess how I've grown as a leader in the past year is like, I wouldn't really consider myself being able to actually be a leader a year ago. I wouldn't even see myself doing something like this at all. It's honestly crazy for me. But I feel like the way I've grown is by isolating myself, like taking myself away from everything and everybody, and just kind of figure out who I am as a person, just like self-awareness, and kind of like cutting out people from my life that weren't really doing anything. Didn't have an actual like mindset, didn't have an actual aggressive mindset. They didn't really know what they were gonna do in the next few years. They didn't like really even have like an actual major. They didn't know if they even want to go to school. So I realized like the only way I could be able to grow is like just kind of separate myself away from that, and then like allow myself to be around people that are doing things bigger than me, that are like not really better than me, but like more far along, such as Bryce and Mecca, like all of y'all. So it's kind of crazy just to see myself where I am now from where I was. Awesome, my mouth was sorry. See myself where I was last year from where I am now. So yeah.
You want to touch on it, Caleb?
About how I've grown as a leader.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of spoke on it about like networking and everything.
And also, I wanted to highlight how you said just like the quality of like your posts and stuff. I know like y'all will like scroll down to y'all's Instagram and like see like like I posted that before, like, you know. So now you just, that's how I also know that I've grown too, based off of just scrolling down my Instagram and seeing like, and then seeing now, it's like, wow.
Is that like motivation for you?
It's a lot of motivation, yeah. Like Austin had just said it, like, about my content, yeah. He was like, when did you just start turning up like that, you know? So that also reminds me that I've grown as well.
Yeah, no, that's good. I like that. And so, again, I keep hearing people, you know, talking about how people are influencing the growth and just how you guys lead. But can y'all name someone, could be a famous figure, could be a family member, a friend, but just someone who has impacted you as a leader, and talk about how they impacted you and what it led you to do in your own life?
Right now, my favorite person is, a lot of y'all probably already know, but it's Elon Musk.
That's the guy.
And it's because, like, he does things that you just really think aren't possible. Like, just everything from SpaceX to building the tunnel to the Tesla. He's just so, like, he's just changing the whole dynamics of being an entrepreneur and just a businessman and all. And the reason why I'm so influenced by him is just because, like, he literally puts it in perspective that you can do anything that you really want to. Like, he has a self-driving car. Like, he has all these different things. So it's just like someone like Elon Musk. It just shows you that in today's world, there's no boundaries. Like, if you really want to do it and you really put in the work for it, you can do anything you want, literally anything. So yeah.
Question: did you become more influenced by him after you got a Tesla?
Definitely.
If y'all want, y'all can take the mics off the stand and just pass it around as well.
Okay. Don't want to sound cliche, but somebody who I've always been inspired my entire life is Beyonce. And that is because just her example that she sets just for the entire world. Like, I watch documentaries, I watch her videos, I watch her old stuff where people are literally like floored by her just being there. And I think it's just through like her genuineness and how she carries herself as a woman. Like, she literally puts other women like on a pedestal. Like, she puts Lupita in her song. She has Chloe and Halle under her wing. Like, the Coachella documentary, the fact that, you know, she stands for Black culture. She doesn't mind like being a platform. She knows how to utilize her platform. And I think that's the main important thing, like still being humble enough to know what you stand for. Okay, yes, I have this success. Yes, I have this amount of followers, but what does that mean if I'm not doing anything with it? Or I'm not trying to put anybody else on? Are you really successful? So I think she's just a huge inspiration to me, because I feel like I can see a lot of myself in her, and just knowing where I want to be in life and knowing how I want to impact other people and knowing the legacy I just want to leave on this earth. So that's just why I'm really inspired by Queen Bee.
I think this is working out. I'm good. I have two. Can I have two?
Sure.
So, I think that the person that has made Atlanta grow as much as they've grown goes way back to Andrew Young. And if you will ever listen to the stories that he tells or read his book on what he has done for the city of Atlanta, it is phenomenal. And I highly recommend each and every one of you to Google and listen to some of his presentations and some of his stories. I could sit in a room for 12 straight hours and not get up and listen to his stories if I ever had the chance to. And he probably doesn't have much time left in this world, so please get a chance, because I think he is the reason that Atlanta is where it is today. And then my second one is Billy Payne. Does anybody know what Billy Payne did?
Olympics.
He brought the Olympics to Atlanta. Does anybody know who we were up against and why? We were up against Athens, Greece. Where were the first Olympics held? Athens, Greece. This was the 100th anniversary of the Olympics. And Athens, Greece had put their name in the hat to hold the centennial, and Atlanta won it. Can you imagine what this guy's done? And again, reading about his story of how he beat Athens, Greece out of the 100th anniversary of the 100th year of the Olympics. It's a phenomenal story of leadership. And I think that those are the two that I'm focused on.
And you know the book by Andrew Young?
Yeah, I have it. It's signed. I forgot. I've written it. I've read it. I'll get that to you.
Okay, yeah, I'll get back to it.
You got me on tape for that. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I edited that out.
Yeah, I don't necessarily have just like one, person online or, public figure that I just look up to. I really just take things that I admire from a whole bunch of different people and absorb, that from just different people. You know what I mean? Whether I'm learning, like online stuff as far as like, oh, I like how she posts this every this, and I like how she represents this, and I like how, I just take different things from different people that I admire. I don't have just like one personal figure.
So what's like your top three?
This is my top three personal figures. I mean, so fitness-wise, I admire, it's a girl, her name is Brittany Babe. I love the way she runs her brand. She's super, super consistent with all her posts. Like I know on this day she's gonna post this, and it's something that I look forward to seeing. And that's like what I want people to, take from my page. Who else? A lot of my influences are fitness people.
Makes sense.
But there's another girl, her name is Chelsea Clark. She's very, very inspiring as far as just giving people, that motivation and affirmations consistently, which I like a lot.
Two is fair.
Yeah, two is good, yeah.
What about you, Lizzie?
I don't have a main one.
Like a lot of people do influence me as well, but the one person that's like really impacted my life in the past few months and like year is Nipsey Hussle, and a lot of people already know who he is now. The rapper that died like March, and I've listened to his music since I was in middle school. I'm a sophomore in college now, so that's a lot of time. But I actually really never paid attention to like what he actually really done for his community in Crenshaw. And once he died, I just read up on a lot of stuff, and I realized that he taught me like the highest human act we can do is serve others. So that's where I came with the idea of books and bundles that me and my friend are creating in the near future. And also realizing that like how we're all running our own marathon, and we're all in our own race, and like it's all patience, and like at the end of the day you're gonna get where you're going. Like it's just a marathon, so that's not a sprint. And that's what really when I followed through college, I realized that like I would every single day and I take one day at a time. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's dope.
I also think, real quick, it's important, like you said, your inspiration doesn't have to be a big, just one person. It doesn't have to just be, people who already have such superior positions. I feel like you can be inspired by the people you follow on an everyday basis. It's the reason you follow them. Like, it's the reason that they caught your eye, they caught your attention, and just surrounding yourself by those people because they're people you want to be like. Like, following a girl because you like the way she dresses, you like the way she keeps herself up, and if you're inspired by someone who dresses nice, to help you dress nice, that's a good reason to follow somebody and being inspired by somebody. So I do want to say, like, you don't have to just be inspired by one person or one large person. I just feel like, being inspired and influenced by people who are around you. I'm inspired by my friends. Like, the fact that my sister, Shanti, she's here, she's so inspiring to me just because she's always on top of her stuff. She's literally, I'm inspired by her because I want to be more like her. So I think it's just important to find people who are in your circle too that inspire you as well.
I think that's great. And one of my influences, John Maxwell, and he has a quote that says, "A true leader is someone that's close enough to relate to you, but far enough ahead to motivate you." And so I can say that about everybody, on this panel, right? And I think that's super important, not to just idolize, higher figures, public figures, but just look at those around you. Look at those you maybe grew up with or from your hometown, and just see, who you can be influenced by, or who's a good leader out there. And so that's the end of our leadership panel. And now we're going to get into the individual questions, and we're going to start with 2 minutes.
And now this part of the episode is called the Visionary Minute, where I'll go over some key takeaways from the episode. And now this panel taught me a lot about leadership and what it takes to reach the next level. And the biggest thing that I learned collectively from everyone is the importance of people. And so your business and your brand will only flourish if you are sharing your message with the right people. Another thing I learned, when you get to the point where you don't have any energy to work, or you just start to get discouraged, you have to remind yourself why you even started in the first place. It's important to remind yourself why you're doing what you do. Rather it be looking at old pictures or comments, or reading over your core values, or just looking yourself in the mirror and saying your why out loud. And lastly, I learned something not from something that someone said, but just by the way that the night went. And so I had to wait until about 4:30 to start setting up, and the event was scheduled to start at 5. So I had people calling, asking for directions. I had some people thinking that no one would show up. And I even had someone tell me that it's not too late to reschedule. And so I had so many thoughts in my head, but in my heart, I just wanted to create an impactful environment. And so the only thing that mattered to me was creating the space and making sure to facilitate a productive conversation. And so as you saw in the episode, I achieved my goal. And the moral of the story is don't compromise your vision based on what people say. If there's a vision in your heart, it's there for a reason. And so that's all for me. Stay tuned for part 2 of this panel. It's even better than the first one, so make sure you tune in next week. And also shout out to my brother Cam, Skilla, Point O, for making the beat. That's all for me. Peace.